My name's Dan Deacon, and you're watching Fuse on Demand. Get it when you want it.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. And I wrote it, and I was like, man, I don't know if he gonna like this song. So when I went back to the studio with him, I said it for him. He was like, man, that's dope. He was like, that's dope right there. He's like, I'm gonna change the beat, though. Then he changed the beat, and then you have history. I was a hood legend. We earned our respect. I come from the gangster world. I needed to put my family first. Yeah, I was pimping.
Snoop, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're on the record with Fuse.
For Sugar Dow.
So, you made Malice in Wonderland. This is a real hip-hop album versus some of the more soulful albums that you had before.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to see how people, receive my 10th album. I wanted to just go back to the essence of what hip-hop was to me and what it meant to me. And I wanted to make a record to show that I was able to be diverse enough to not do what you're accustomed to hearing me do, but do something that I've known that I can do for years and not been able to do, but I wanted to do.
Yeah, that Gangsta Love is that classic Snoop party record, mellow, fun, girls, let's just have a party.
Exactly, and I gotta have one of those on every album that I do because my fan base requires that.
I mean, it's you have those two sides. You're gonna make those gangster records, which a lot of your male fans want to hear, and then you're gonna make the party and dance records that your female fans want to hear, and you're able to yin and yang it that way.
Yeah, I've been able to, walk the fine line for a long time because I've been with some of the the greats in hip-hop, such as Dr. Dre, Master P, Pharrell. They was able to walk a fine line by just being themselves. And that's what made me want to be me. I never stop being Snoop Dogg no matter what I do. If I make a gangster record, if I make a record like Central Seduction where I'm in costume and I'm having a good time playing the guitar and, bringing it back to the old spirit or whatnot, it's still within the world of Snoop Dogg. It's never like, why did he do that? It's always like, only Snoop could do that.
Your new album, you say, I need to put the gun away, I got priors. It reminds me of Lil Wayne. He says, I can't carry guns, got a guy that got him. And you've been arrested a couple times on the weed tip, on the gun tip. Are you allowing yourself to be vulnerable when your man should be carrying your stuff? Or are your civil rights being violated because the cops are stalking you?
I think my civil rights have definitely been violated because I've never been a violent person with any firearms or weapons or whatnot.
But, I mean, why don't you have a guy who holds your stuff?
It's better to be caught with than without because you never know if that guy gonna freeze up. And I say that to say this, a couple of guys that got popped, if they'd have had things on them, they probably would still be here. And you could put 1 + 1 together and add that up and figure out what I'm trying to say.
There's a lot about your wife. Jay-Z's got Beyonce, I got Shantae. In 04, you guys were breaking up. In 08, you renew your vows. How did you get from, trouble at home to this point where you love her and you're, proclaiming that love?
It's because I was able to go and see that I didn't need what I thought I needed. When that apple looked good to bite, and then once you bite it, you realize it's a snake in there. And when I realized and sat down and looked at my family and looked at my kids, it made me realize that that's where I wanted to be and that's where I needed to be.
One day, your daughter is gonna hear Bitches Ain't, and she's gonna come to you and say, Daddy, what was that about?
She already heard them records. Me and my daughter got a great relationship to where she understands who I am. I've never hidden anything from my kids. I've always been able to express myself to them on who their daddy is so they won't have to go read a book and find out the truth about who their father was. They know I'm an ex-gangbanger, drug dealer, wannabe pimp. They know about how I cheated on their mother and wanted to get a divorce because they heard it from me directly. And that's why me and my relationship with my kids is about us being friends, because sometimes a father can scare a kid, but a friend is always gonna be there.
You talk about biting the apple and it wasn't all that you wanted. I mean, we know that you were living out some men's dream when you were biting the apple, you were...
Yeah, I was pimping.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I seen pimps and players and hustlers and gangsters, and that inspired me to want to be. So once I had the opportunity to dibble and dab into that world, I jumped in with 2 feet.
A lot of people talk about I'm a pimp, but they're just talking about metaphorical.
Yeah, I'm talking about really going in, like getting girls to bring you back money for their services, whether it was through athletes or entertainers or just rich guys with money who wanted to have a young girl spend the evening with him. And, you know, through my connection, I send the girl get the money. And that was my pimping. And I was running with real pimps and getting the understanding of pimping, because I don't do things for fake. I do it for real.
Just how do you get a girl to go do something and then give you the money for it?
I mean, that's, you know, it's got to be within you, player. I can't explain that. I can't give you that information and make you, you know, who I am. I can't send you to a grocery store and you go buy a pimp kit and, you know, you come out like Snoop Dogg in 15 minutes. I say it to you like this. A woman to get you to do anything you wouldn't do normally to get what you want from her, that's pimping. You got to take me out to eat. You got to go meet my mother. All those things you got to do to get to the magic place. But if you're a real player, you flip the game on her and tell her, I don't even want that. I'm gonna make you want that from me. And a woman loves when a man doesn't just want her for her body, when he wants her for her mind. And once he steals her mind and puts his head inside her head, she's definitely gonna do whatever the pimp tells her to do. That's pimping one-on-one.